back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. What stands out to you guys from the Trailblazers so far in this one?
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. Mills out there with Gary Neal. Then it's Bonner. Then there's Allen Henderson. And it's Serafin in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Pacers went with an almost entirely new bench last season. It had been a major weakness for the team in 2012-13. The bench was much improved, and you've got to have that to be able to compete at your highest level, no doubt.
Indiana trailing here. Over to the wing. Stolen by Fareed. And he lobs it up. And George with the stuff.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Yeah, absolutely. They made the steal pay dividends instantly in the open floor.
To the left wing. Mills dishes to Anderson. Wide open. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got his third rebound on the night.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game, though.
Marshall passes to Fareed. Stolen by Serafin. Pacers trail by 4. And Mills kicks to Neal. Bonner dishes to Mills. Paul George with the steal. Goes up. Finishes the break with a slam.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. They've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself. And I'll tell you what, that was a golden one there.
Serafin with the ball. Pekovic is there. 5 to shoot. Deep 2 from Anderson. Almost, but it rolls out.
That's his comfort zone, so defensively, really nice job challenging the shot.
Dishes to Marshall. Back to George. Pekovic inside. Serafin's there. Outside, George. Here's Oladipo. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. Oladipo's got his second bucket. Mills with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And here's Neal outside. Portland grabs the miss. Pekovic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. The shot by George, wide open. Fareed the pass to George. Oladipo dishes to George. They get the rebound. Fareed with it. He's against Bonner. And there's an intentional foul, but I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Yeah, tough to explain that one. It looks like he just lost his focus.
First team foul.
I'm not sure what he was thinking about there. That's a strange foul.
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a minute.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Timeout called the Pacers. After a 2-year absence from the playoffs, the Portland Trailblazers able to get back into it last year to face Houston in the 4-5 seeded matchup.
And they jockeyed as hard as they could to get that home court advantage, but just couldn't quite grab hold of it. Still, they were able to get by a very tough Houston team in round 1.
And Oladipo kicks to Marshall. He feeds it to George. Shot clock at 6. That doesn't go either for George.
Get by Houston with an incredible shot at that, but you know, things were different when they ran into the machine known as the San Antonio Spurs in the second round.
Parker kicks to Sullinger. Inside to Gasol. The reverse. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, Kevin, Terry Stotts led the Blazers to the second round last season, and he's now in his third year with the team. He spent a couple of seasons as head coach in Atlanta and Milwaukee, but this is his longest stint and the best talent he's ever had. As Stotts said, you never know if you're going to get another chance. Guys, he's certainly making the most of it.
Doing a great job. Thanks, Doris. Henderson kicks to Gasol. Rebound by the Trailblazers.
And as you said about Portland, they just couldn't deal with the Spurs over the course of a series and ended up out after the second round. Still, a really nice showing from a young team with a lot of upside. Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Parker kicks to Sullinger. Parker left side. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Well, you look at the game of basketball, it really seems to be on the upswing, and that's great news for the NBA. We know that those who play a sport are much more likely to watch it as an adult, and basketball is now the largest participation sport in high school and college.
And Oladipo kicks to Marshall. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Pass to Henderson. Parker sets the screen for Henderson. Sullinger passes to Butler. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Butler's got 8.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
George dishes to Marshall. There's the lob to the hoop. And George with the stuff.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. Cans the shot from the wing. 10 points for him.
Well, Gerald Henderson is not the most lethal outside shooter, but I really like the way he's learning to move without the ball. He's very opportunistic with his cuts whenever his defender turns his head.
And Marshall kicks to Oladipo. George passes to Marshall. That ball, nice feed that time from George. Marshall's got the lead up to 12 now for the Trailblazers. Now here's Parker. Tight defense on him. Butler dishes to Parker. Butler kicks to Parker. Passes it to Sullinger. Right side Gasol. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. A different look now for Portland. Portland leading by 12. Outside Robinson. He kicks it to Lewis. Back to Robinson. He dishes it to Ontic. The feed to Ross. The wing jumper off target. And Henderson most comfortable, it seems, Steve, shooting from the corners.
Yeah, like most players, Kevin, that's the easier shot, 22 feet instead of 23.9. He shot a good percentage from there. Not really a long-range shooter per se, which is why you didn't see him, shoot effectively from the top of the circle or on the wings.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding department too, Clark.
Yeah, it's been a really gritty performance. They'll have some bruises to show for it, but that's the way it should be. You should feel that you've competed when you do that work inside.
Count that one. That's 7 points now for Terrence Ross.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
Parker kicks to Sullinger. Parker sets the screen for Sullinger. To the inside. It's Butler that time on the assist by Sullinger. And that's 12 points for Butler.
They've slowed down casting those triples here in the second.
I'd actually like to see them go back outside, Clark, because they had a good flow, a good pace here early on.
Spades the pass to Robinson. Here's Ross. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You can hear the impact from where I am.
It's his first trip to the line.
Pretty good performance from the free throw line last season. He was about 84% from the line.
Yeah, that was one spot where they didn't have to worry about him at all. I mean, at the free throw line, he was automatic.
Mills, he's checked in for the Pacers. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Sullinger is screen on Robinson. Mills dishes to Sullinger. The 9-foot shot bounces high off the rim and drops. Now Ross. The shot misses. That'll do it for the first half. Portland out in front.